Good morning, you guys. How's everybody doing today? So, no matter what I talk about and no matter what modalities we go over, cavitation is always the number one requested one, the one with the most questions. And so today for Technique Tuesday, I wanted to do some rapid fire, a couple of quick questions that we get all the time, and then I'm going to go over a couple of tips and techniques for the services as well. And of course, while I'm going live and answering these questions, if there's anything that you specifically wanted to know, please let me know that as well. So let's jump right into it. Happy Tuesday, you guys. Let's go. So this is a 5-in-1 cavitation machine. This is one of the main ones that we use. This is a pro machine. So this is a machine that I'm going to be showing y'all a couple of tips on in a little bit. But first, let me answer a couple of quick questions, some of the FAQs that we get really often, and then I'll go over tips. And I'm actually going to demonstrate one of these modalities for you because I get a lot of questions on it as well. Okay, so the first thing most of you guys should know at this point, but what is ultrasonic cavitation? It's a non-invasive service. It's a non-invasive body sculpting service that specifically, you guys, uses ultrasound to break down stubborn fat cells, okay? And it does, most of the machines come with 3 modalities. Some come with the pads, which over the years, I've told you guys we don't use those because they're not really effective at breaking down fat. They're good at heating up the tissue. So the 3 that are here, let me just move over a little bit. You have your cavitation, which is mostly for breaking down the fat cells. You have your vacuum, which is mostly for lymphatic drainage and moving those broken down fat cells into the lymphatic system. And then you have radio frequency, which is for skin tightening. And I do get the question pretty often, the correct order. I actually just gave it to you in the correct order. We use in our school, in our trainings, in our curriculums, the CVR method, which is cavitation, vacuum, radio frequency. So you're going to melt it, then you're going to move it where it needs to go, and then you're going to tighten everything in place afterwards, okay? Another question that we get, and I'm sorry, you guys, if I'm moving a little fast, because I do have a client at 10, but I wanted to get this info out to you. The second question is, who is the best candidate for this service? So you guys, ideally, you just want somebody who's not sedentary or someone who will make a commitment to follow your programming. So if I tell a client after every service, I need you to flush your body with water, and they're going to go to the club, to the bar to drink, not an ideal candidate. We also get asked, is there a person who's too big for cavitation services? And the answer is no, but, okay? It's not that a person is too big. There are limitations to this machine. So if I have a client who is 250 pounds, but they've already started working out, they've already started exercising and dropping the weight, then this treatment can enhance what they're already doing. But if I have someone who's 250 pounds, they're sedentary, they're going to come get this service and they're going to go home and lay on their couch all day, then they're not going to get effective results. So it's really and truly the habits of the client, not so much the size. You can work with clients of any size, but what are their habits? And most of the time when we have a larger or more obese client, we don't turn them away, but we have that client start to drop weight before they get these services. Because like I said, it's about the habit. It doesn't make sense for me to do a cavitation service and then you're going to go and have a cheeseburger after, or you're not going to do any of the things that we're telling you to do. So you want a client who's already starting to take the steps to get to a healthier place so that they get the best results. This treatment is enhancing. It's not going to do all the work for you, especially if you're not doing what you need to do at home. Third question, is cavitation safe? Yes, if done properly. I've seen people do 3 hours of CVR treatments. That is not safe, okay? We max out at 50 minutes with this machine, but then you can combine other modalities to increase results, okay? So is it safe? Yes, when a person is properly trained and knows what they're doing, absolutely, it is safe. They can get great results. If the person is not properly trained, they're going above and beyond. They're doing 3 hours of services and doing all kinds of stuff that they should not be doing. It will not be safe. Your clients are going to start to get headaches. Their lymphatic system is going to be overwhelmed. A lot of things can happen that you don't want to happen. So at the end of the day, you guys, if you have questions about the services, get proper training. And if you have paid someone for services and feel like you're not getting what you need to get, ask questions, check things, do independent research, but make sure that you have protocols and that you have some kind of safety guideline. Don't just go out there, buy a machine and start doing it on yourself or other people. Okay. Another question that we get a lot is, how many services does a client need? You guys, service recommendations go anywhere from 3 to 12 treatments, depending on the client, depending on the goal. So there's not a specific number, but I do tell every student when I'm training, it takes at least 3 sessions for clients to start to see significant changes. So if you have done a client session 1 and you're like, oh my God, I'm not getting good results, give it some more time, guys. It does take a little bit of time. And I tell every client, set the expectation. They're going to see minor results each and every time, but it's going to take 3 or more sessions for them to be like, wait a minute, my pants are looser. You know, this is happening, that is happening. It's going to take at least 3 sessions. So if a client is coming in for 1 session and think they're going to drop 6 inches around their waist, they're not. Okay. How long do the results last? You guys, it is always going to depend on your client's lifestyle and health choices, okay? So I tell people all the time, people used to think that liposuction was a permanent solution until they realized they had to go for a 2nd revision, a 3rd revision, sometimes a 4th revision. Why? Because our body has thousands of fat cells. And what happens is when you destroy some of those fat cells, if you then go back to eating chicken, eating burgers, drinking a lot, doing all these things, the other fat cells will then start to enlarge. Okay. So we are destroying some fat cells, but you have others. So if you're not maintaining it, the new fat cell enlargement can happen. Okay. So I tell clients this is a long-lasting result if you're maintaining your weight. If you start to pick up weight again, you're going to start to notice fat in that area or other areas, okay? Does it hurt? Does it require any downtime? There's no downtime. It's not surgery. It can hurt when not done properly, which is why I'm going to show you guys today how to operate the vacuum, because the vacuum is the one tool that people are like, oh my God, it hurts, it's uncomfortable. But what are you doing? Are you properly performing the treatment? So I'm going to show you that technique really quickly in a minute. Another question that we get very often is, how should clients prepare for a cavitation service? So we actually give clients a whole list, okay, of things they need to do, but the most important ones, hydrate. You want your client to hydrate well. That's going to be the most important thing. The second is avoiding alcohol and caffeine before and after, but especially after, because what you want to explain to your clients and understand yourself is, I am doing what I can to destroy fat cells, and your body then has to get rid of those fat cells. Your body has to detox. Well, guess what? If your body is trying to now get rid of fat cells and alcohol and detox from cigarettes and everything else, all of those things are slowing your lymphatic system. They're slowing your liver and kidneys, which are your body's detox system. And it's going to take a lot longer for you to get good results. Okay. Now, one more question, and then I'm going to go into the vacuum protocol or vacuum technique. Okay. This question is asked a lot, you guys. And actually I have two. One is, can cavitation be combined with other treatments? Absolutely. I get the best results when I combine it with other things. But my number one tip, you guys, is the power of 3. You never want to do more than 3 modalities at a time. Okay, so what that means is, if you're going to do a CVR treatment, then, I mean, yes, you might do wood therapy or a body wrap, or you may do G5, or there's so many different things. So many different things. You can take it now. So many different things that you can combine it with, but power of 3. That means if I'm going to do a G5 session for a client's cellulite, I've done cavitation and then I do, I don't know, a body wrap. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going to then go in and add wood therapy and say, oh, girl, we can do some K-taping and gesso wrapping. You cannot do all of those modalities at once because your body, once again, your lymphatic system will become overwhelmed. You're doing too much, and it can only break down so much at a time. So, power of 3. Never combine more than 3 modalities, no matter what 3 modalities they are. I may not even be doing cavitation. I may just be doing wood therapy and G5 and infrared sauna. Okay, those are my 3. There's a lot of different protocols. If y'all take the classes, we go through how to combine what and all that. But what I'm saying is, if you are combining cavitation services with other treatments, power of 3 is your limitation. Okay, now, the one thing I want to talk about on the machine today, because people ask all the time about like the vacuum, there's a couple tips I'm going to give you. The first one is never, ever, ever do the vacuum treatment only on suction. You need your suction and your release to calibrate, because as you're doing the lymphatic treatment, you want it to do both. You want it to do the work for you. So never do it on suction only, never do it on release only. They both need to be working together, okay? The second thing is you should not be doing a stamping method, which means I put it here and I stop. I put it here and I stop. You should be rhythmically moving the vacuum the entire time you're doing the treatment. Now, the other thing people say, well, it hurts or I can't move the vacuum when it's in operation. That means you need to change the suction levels. And I'm going to give y'all this now because so many people have asked the question. The numbers on the screen for the vacuum are not the suction levels. Those are timers. That's telling you how long it's going to suck and release, how long it's going to suck and release. The actual suction power is going to be the knob, which is either going to be on the top of your machine. Mine is right there at the top, or it's going to be on the side of your machine, or it's going to be behind your machine, but it's going to be a knob. You don't want to turn that knob all the way up, okay? Because it's probably going to hurt, and it's probably going to give you so much suction and resistance that you cannot move. That's not what you want to do, okay? So we do go through, all the different settings and stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, if your vacuum is all the way high, that is probably why your clients are in pain. It's probably why you can't move your handle. So what I'm going to also show you guys really quickly, I don't want to use that one. Let me see if this is just oil. What I'm also going to show you guys is just what the proper movement is. Yeah, this oil, nice and warm. Okay, so let me turn on the vacuum. All right, the timer doesn't matter. And I'm not going to use radio frequency right now because really and truly, I just want to show you guys actual movement. So I'm just going to use my arm so you can see this really quick. And never, ever, ever do a vacuum treatment on dry skin either. That will cause pain. It's not going to help glide. It's not going to help with cellulite. We have our own cellulite oil that we use with these treatments. We sell it online if you have questions on that, okay? All right, so I'm just going to put a little oil on my arm so y'all can see. Nice and glossy. Okay, and let me grab this handle. Okay, you guys, so proper method. Now, I'm not going to go over directions, but just keep in mind that this is a lymphatic tool, so you should be going towards the lymph nodes, but each body part is going to be different. So let me just turn it on and show you guys. And now I'm showing you, I am adjusting my vacuum. It is not going to be all the way high. So let me adjust it a little bit, turn this on. Okay. This is the movement. Start. Come all the way through, stop, let go. So it's sucking and releasing, and sucking and releasing, and sucking and releasing, but you should be continuously moving, okay? So that is the movement. Now, it's gonna be the same movement, but it might be different directions. Okay, it's gonna be the same movement, but it might be different directions depending on the body part, okay? 2 other things, well, there's 3. I'm just going through a couple. 3 things. 1, people ask all the time, well, what if my machine isn't sucking anymore? Have you changed the filters in here? Y'all should be changing these filters in here at least once a month. If you've never changed them, that might be why your vacuum isn't working. If you need filters, we do sell them on our website. The second thing, the filter in the back of your machine should be cleaned and changed at least once a month as well. I'm not going to turn it around because then I'll move my light. But this little filter in the back, once again, if you've never changed that, that might be why your machine is not sucking properly. Okay, so there's only really two things you have to maintenance on the machine outside of cleaning it regularly. It's this filter and the filters inside your vacuum. Okay, now last question I'm gonna go over and then I'm gonna get out of here. I see a lot of y'all are watching, nobody's asking questions, so hopefully I'm answering most of y'all's questions for you. The last thing I wanted to answer, people ask all the time, can I use cavitation on all body parts? Is there a certain part that you would avoid? You want to avoid bony areas. So if you can see your client's ribs, you don't want to treat that area, but you can treat pretty much everywhere on the body except we do not go over breast or heart with this machine. Okay, so thighs, arms, back, stomach, all of those, yes. Now there are certain tools that you will not use on the face as well. You know, I go over that in class, but for the most part, you can use this machine anywhere that a client has fat, which is pretty much everywhere. But you don't want to go over bony areas and you don't want to go over the heart. Okay, so hopefully I answered some of you guys' questions. If y'all have other questions, comments, suggestions, please share them with everybody here in the group. Post them down below. And then I will see you guys next week with some more tips and tricks. Next week, we're going to be business focused. So hopefully, you know, y'all are getting some good stuff out of this. Keep asking questions. I will keep answering them. Oh, there was one question posted in the group and someone asked, now I'm not going to go fully into protocols, but somebody asked, how do we treat inner thighs? And so one thing I want you guys to know is a lot of times it's position. Okay, you want to make sure that however you have the client positioned, you're able to really and truly get into that area. Okay, so sometimes we have our clients butterflying, moving their legs all kinds of ways. Sometimes my client's leg is up and I'm working on it this way. It also depends on what the client wants. If it's cellulite, it's going to be a very different protocol than if it's fat reduction. So it really depends on the client, but positioning matters as well. You want to go where the fat is if fat reduction is what they want. So you may have to move the client around and change the protocols a little bit. Sometimes I have to increase cavitation and decrease radio frequency timing, because if they're really more worried about losing fat than they are about tightening the skin, then I'm going to change the timing depending on the client's target. Okay, so listen to your clients, understand what their needs are, what they want, pinch the areas, make sure that there's pinchable fat, because like I said, if it's bony, you're not going to get good results there anyway. So just in general, you guys talk to your clients, do a very thorough consultation. And then, like I said, if y'all have questions on specific protocols and stuff, that's normally what the training is for. But if there's specific questions on the machine or something that I can answer publicly for you guys, go ahead and post those comments below the video and I'll answer them as fast as I can. Thanks, and y'all have a great day, and I'll see you next Tuesday.